especially having been a woman sort of raising money and scaling companies and realizing how much you need to know what are your values, what are your non-negotiables, how strong you have to be and how firm you have to be on what's important to you, so that you never operate out of a place of fear, out of a place of scarcity, right? So that you're always making the right decisions, knowing what you bring to the table, what your values are, because, you can lose a deal, you can even lose a company, it'll cost you a lot of money, but you can recover, right? What you can never recover is your integrity, your reputation. So those things are scarce, right? And so I think coming out of that and saying, I never want anyone, but especially women, to feel like they're making a decision out of, oh, could this be fatal? Could this be fatal to my career? Could this be fatal to my reputation? Could this be fatal to my finances? And so really helping people, leaders, executives say, I know exactly what I bring to the table. I know exactly what my non-negotiables are, and I'm going to operate at all times from that place, be really confident, really steady, really just really, really sure of myself. And almost that sort of self-advocacy, because if you can advocate for yourself, then you can advocate for your team, then you can advocate for your company.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's so important, the whole self-trust side of things, because, as they say, it's lonely at the top and it's hard to trust people sometimes. And so learning how to trust yourself and know that you're heading in the right direction, I think is so important. So you wrote an amazing book. I'm just going to read the title so I make sure I say it all correctly. No Permission Needed, Unlock Your Leadership Potential and Eliminate Self-Doubt. People who read your book, what is the promise that they're going to get after reading it? Like, what are they going to learn? What are they going to be able to take away?
I think that the really key, what will you learn is, number one, how to be very declarative about yourself, how to actually learn to speak about yourself in a very confident and specific way. I think we are too generic about ourselves, and there are some very real consequences of being generic and almost apologetic about yourself. So how do you be specific? How do you say, this is what I'm known for, this is why it matters? And then how do you learn how to do that? So it's one thing to sort of figure it out, and then there's another to get used to and comfortable doing that. So the first part is really about the value you bring and how you talk about it. The second part is the values and how you lead and why that matters. So, I think a lot of times people will say, well, my superpower, I hate that word, by the way, because what does that mean, right? But so I work with a lot of boards, and a lot of, board chairs will say to me, what is this superpower crap? Like, what is it? What does that mean? And I think words are great, but you have to connect them to outcomes. So if somebody comes to me and says, my superpower is empathy, okay, tell me why that matters. So if you say, well, I lead with empathy and compassion, that's fabulous. But I want you to now tell me, this is how it manifests. This is what my team can expect. And this is how we drive to outcomes. So what? So if your superpower is empathy, so what? Why will that make me want to work for you or with you as a board member? Why do I care? Why would I want to bring you on as anybody at any level in my organization? How are you actually going to hit your KPIs that way, right? Or your OKRs, whatever your company does. If we can always connect the words we use, the way we describe ourselves with the outcomes, now people are going to go, oh, I understand why that's important. I understand how that connects to how you're a good leader, how you're a good deliverer. I don't even know if that's a word, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now there's a so what to every way you describe yourself.